Baby, I still remember trying to cancel my match account, but your message caught my eye, and you looked so handsome. I gave you my email and number, and I can't lie, I had my doubts that you would call me, but baby, you proved me wrong. Baby, now look at us here on our wedding day. 5 whole years and you're still taking my breath away. Oh, Drayton, I just wanna let you know, baby, you have a heart of gold, the best personality. Babe, you are the one, and we are meant to be. And as we're standing now, the day we say I do, babe, all that I know is I'll always love you. Remember when you surprised me, proposing in Lake Placid? You pretended to find the engagement ring in the frozen lake, and even though you hate the cold, you still proposed out in the frozen. That's how I know you love me. Yeah. Baby, now look at us here on our wedding day. 5 whole years and you're still taking my breath away. Oh, Drayton, I just wanna let you know, baby, you have a heart of gold, the best personality. Babe, you are the one, and we are meant to be. And as we're standing now, the day we say I do, babe, all that I know is I'll always love you.
Love, I get so lost sometimes. Days pass, and this emptiness fills my heart. When I want to run away, I drive off in my car. But whichever way I go, I come back to the place you are. I don't like to see so much pain, so much wasted, and this moment keeps slipping away. I get so tired, working so hard for our survival. I look to the time with you to keep me awake and alive.
We are gathered to celebrate Daniel and Drayton as they join their lives in marriage. Marriage is a commitment of great significance. It demands that we bring our whole selves to our relationship. It is not a place for hiding or concealing any parts of ourselves. Marriage is perhaps also one of the greatest catalysts for personal growth, in that it demands that we bring vulnerability, humility, and patience to our relationship. Marriage requires that we show up and practice with one another daily. Far more than simply loving one another, marriage asks that we commit to treating our partner with care, respect, understanding, and at times, grace. It's a place where we share our highs and lows, our joys and sorrows, our laughter and our tears. Beyond love and attraction, marriage requires that we truly care for one another. When I asked you both about first impressions, it's clear that there was something very special in your relationship from the very first day. Of course, you both immediately commented on how attractive you find the other one to be. I believe sexy AF may have been Daniel's specific recollection. However, it also appears that you were both incredibly attracted to each other's character. Daniel, Drayton was impressed with how easy it was to talk to you, how considerate, gracious, and measured you were. Drayton, Daniel was instantly taken with your sense of wonder. Leaving the restaurant on your first date, it was snowing outside, and you asked that the two of you stop, take in the moment, and appreciate it. Since that moment, Daniel has been captivated by your ability to find beauty in everything. Today is no exception. Over time, those initial impressions have only grown stronger. Daniel has continued to delight in Drayton's patience, kindness, and boundless curiosity about the world and the people who are in it. And Drayton has continued to be inspired by Daniel's natural ability to cultivate family, friendship, and community. In fact, since knowing the two of you, I've often thought it quite amazing how easy it is for you to express your attraction, your interest, your love to one another. You truly seem to have both indeed found the right person. Of course, marriage is not only about finding the right partner, but also about being the right partner, or perhaps more importantly, about becoming the right partner. What so often matters in marriage is not our ability to celebrate and admire the qualities that we find charming and beautiful and endearing about our partner, but what takes romantic interest from a place of exploration and intrigue into territory with the capacity to withstand time and change is the ability to delight in each other's quirks, to find joy in one another's idiosyncrasies. More than anything, it's about having commitment, patience, and respect for one another as you move through the challenges life will invariably present to you. To that end, you boys seem to be incredibly ready for this next step in life together. Whether it's Drayton being secretly amused at Daniel's inability to put the cap or top back on anything, even when it's attached to the tube, completely hopeless.
That's true.
Or whether it's Drayton being secretly amused, or Daniel rather, being secretly amused at Drayton's being fake organized. His endless quest for creating order, yet never seeming to be able to find anything. You continue to find one another's habits curious, quirky, and oddly charming. This is so good. However, you've also proven that your love and commitment is capable of withstanding challenges made of harder stuff. Relocation, loss, grief, mismatched expectations and habits, personal and professional challenges. Through all of these, you have shown compassion, care, and commitment to learning each other's needs, to learning each other's language and how to speak it. This is perhaps your greatest accomplishment as a couple thus far. As the Lebanese-American poet Khalil Gibran warned, between what is said and not meant, and what is meant and not said, most of love is lost. This will never be the case for the two of you. You've shown each other patience, love, and tremendous understanding as you've moved through life together. What's more, you have created a world around you filled with friends, family, and community who truly love and adore you. And Scott and I stand testament to that commitment and that creation today. But today you begin a new life together. It will be quite similar to the life you share now, but make no mistake, it will be different. For today, you make a decision to commit to one another in ways that matter greatly. From here forward, you will go through life as two individuals, but two individuals who are unified in a force that will give you strength when you need it, will give you courage when you can't find it, a force that will challenge one another when you need, and more importantly, provide love and support that will enable you to weather whatever life may bring you. From today forward, you will be each other's husbands. Scott will now read a poem selected by Drayton, titled Superbly Situated by Robert Herschel.
By Daniel.
By Daniel, chosen by Daniel.
Superbly Situated by Robert Herschel. You politely ask me not to die, and I promise right from the beginning, a relationship based on good sense and thoughtfulness in little things. I would like to be loved for such simple attainments as breathing regularly and not falling down too often, or because my eyes are brown or my father left-handed. And to be on the safe side, I wouldn't mind if somehow I became entangled in your perception of admirable objects. So you might say to yourself, I've recently noticed how superbly situated the Empire State Building is, how it looms up suddenly behind cemeteries and rivers. So far away you could touch it, therefore I love you. Part of me fears that some moron is already plotting to tear down the Empire State Building and replace it with a block of Staten Island mother-daughter houses. Just as part of me fears that if you love me for my cleanliness, I will grow filthy. If you admire my elegant clothes, I'll start wearing shirts with sailboats on them. But I have decided to become a public beach, an opera house, a regularly scheduled flight, something you can't help being in the right place at the right time. Come take your seat. We'll raise the curtain, fill the house, start the engines, fly off into the sunrise, the spire of the Empire State, the last sight on the horizon as the earth begins to curve.
In preparation for today, you both have prepared vows for one another. Daniel, I will ask you to share your vows with Drayton first.
Okay. Thank you, Jason. That was a beautiful introduction. What a beautiful space we have. I can't imagine spending it with anyone else. Oof. All right. So, just unloosen the jacket. Trying to express in words what this day means to me is overwhelming. You know I cry at Kleenex commercials. So you understand it will be hard for me to read these words without getting choked up, as is already evidenced. But it doesn't mean that my feelings for you are equivalent to the poor lady suffering from allergies who only has access to dry, hard tissues. I'm not a spiritual or religious person, but there is something fated about our relationship and about how we met. I had closed my dating accounts and essentially closed my dating life because I wasn't looking for a relationship and had become a little bit pessimistic, I think. And then I saw a message from you, and then I saw a picture of you, slightly obscured, sitting on a beach, and I thought to myself, huh. Then we spoke for the first time after a couple of cursory emails, and I heard your voice on our first call, and when I was finally convinced that you weren't auditioning for a phone sex line, but then realizing that no, your voice is actually this sincere, this soothing, this sensual and inviting, I was intrigued. We've had a whirlwind 5 years. We fell for one another fast. The attraction was quick, but then also the mutual respect and appreciation for one another was just as profound and just as quick. We've moved to a new place together for the first time. We bought our home together for the first time. We're building a life together, and I couldn't be more excited to be doing it with you. And while all of these things haven't always been easy, honestly for me, they really haven't been that hard, which is a testament to you and the love and respect I have for you and that we have for each other. I can't imagine having lived these past 5 years with anybody else, and I can't wait to live the next 50 with you. You have been so good to me. Excuse me. You're very calm. You're patient. I do admit to that now. You're hilarious. And you're very loving. I promise to be not such a crybaby, just joking. I promise to be the best version of myself for you. I will comfort and support you to the best of my abilities in all the same ways that you comfort and support me. I will always respect you. I will never take you for granted. nor will I ever take our love for granted. I promise to share the levity of hard times and the gravity of good times. I will always continue to cry at Kleenex commercials as long as you will have me. Hoy amo você muito y estoy muito orgulloso de te llamar de mi marido. Sorry, that was awful.
That was very good, babe. I got it. I got it.
For all of you non-native Portuguese speakers, I love you very much. I am so happy and proud to call you my husband.
Great. I will ask you now to share your vows with Daniel.
Thanks, babe. Oh, that's very nice. I
Oh
have
my God.
cards.
Hey, okay.
I want to take a moment, just very much like that very first date, just to walk around, look around.
It's gorgeous.
I see you. Daniel, I remember our first day after dinner. I made a stop outside for a big chunk of time to observe what was happening in our surroundings. I remember the horizon getting higher, hiding the sun, the empty ice skating rink. It was pure intuition and hope. I wanted to imprint that memory in my head. I thought that beyond that handsome man, I had just met my best match. It could have been awkward and weird, and in fact was very awkward and weird. Like two synchronizing swimmers, and one of them is left-handed. But you played along with your collected vibe. You showed me that we had a good chance from that moment on. As it turns out, we're totally fine being weird. I was hooked. It was like finding a perfect dancing ice skate, even though we don't ice skate. It was so easy from that start, that evening and 5 years later. Every day, I find myself gravitating towards your presence. Pushing, pulling, walking together or along. It's organic, natural, and simple. I'm so lucky. I'm so happy you chose me to create a life story together. We have collected so many special chapters and small twists so far. 2 minutes of a full solar eclipse, snorkeling in Fernando de Noronha, swaying with the wind in the curves of Big Sur, and all those moments and so many more. You always succeed to make me feel loved, appreciated, cared, and easy. Your calm and demeanor fill the air around me with solace. You are a perfect life noise canceling human device. That's always with the batteries on, by the way. I love the way you cultivate and nurture your relationships with your family and friends, always helping and supporting them to carry on searching and being the best versions of themselves. Your dedication and genuine empathy to relieve the mental suffering of others is exceptional. I see how you care about people. You are selfless and so generous with one of the most valuable assets we have in life, our time. Your insights and suggestions give you the motivation to find the forgiveness to my life scars. Undoubtedly, you make my life easier. I love sharing my life with you. It all makes sense. Either laughing with my silly jokes, supporting my efforts in physical comedy,
We're pretty good.
and translating even sometimes when I say anything. Today is one of the happiest days of my life. I will never forget. In life's imperfections, with its trials and tribulations, ebbs and flows, I promise to love you, to keep my love safe in your orbit, to remind you in every moment, in the ups and especially in the downs, of the beautiful, gentle soul you are. I promise you will always be part of my existence. Even if my memory vanishes, I will have your name in my ring to remind me. I can hardly wait to carry on adding to our life story, pausing, changing pace, flooding time with new memories. Você é a parte favorita do meu dia, todos os dias. Ever yours, ever mine, ever ours.
Scott, will you please present Dan and Drayton with their rings? I'd like you each to take your ring.
Yeah, of course. Not for your eyes.
Get those back. How about the ring?
Present them with the real rings.
You knew that was coming, babe. You deserve it.
As a preface and perhaps a basis for your declaration of intent to marry, I would like to share one final thought from The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. Let there be spaces in your togetherness, and let the winds of the heavens dance between you. Love one another, but make not a bond of love. Let it rather be a moving sea between the shores of your souls. Fill each other's cup, but drink not from one cup. Give one another of your bread, but eat not from the same loaf. Sing and dance together and be joyous. But let each of you be alone, even as the strings of the lute are alone, though they quiver with the same music. Give your hearts, but not into each other's keeping, for only the hand of life can contain your hearts. And stand together, yet not too near together. For the pillars of the temple stand apart, and the oak tree and cypress grow not in each other's shadow. With this in mind, Daniel, please place your ring on Drayton's finger. Do you, Daniel, take Drayton to be your lawfully wedded husband?
I do.
Drayton, please place your ring on Daniel's finger. Do you, Drayton, take Daniel to be your lawfully wedded husband?
I do.
By the power vested in me by no government in particular, but the Universal Life Church, I now pronounce you husbands, and for the first time, you may kiss your husband.
I got nervous. That was so amazing. That was so gorgeous. Thank you.
Congratulations.
That was so nice.
Congratulations.
Thank you. That was so beautiful. I love you too. That was so nice. That was so beautiful. Thank you. That was so nice.